What a night last night at Globe Life Field. You had an inside the park home run, a big home run by Corey Seager, 10 strikeout game by Jacob deGrom. But the ninth inning with its 6-1 lead, I think Peyton Gray stole the show. He's going to join us coming up on today's episode of the DLLS Rangers podcast. All right, guys, welcome into the Rangers Day podcast this Friday, presented by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use the code DLLS and you'll receive $20 off your first purchase. Here we go. There's the studio. Jeff Wilson here. Elijah the Prophet is back in the chair over there, trying to make this show look good. And as I always say, I need all the help I can get. Big show today. Lots of things in the works, and Peyton Gray, he's going to join us at some point here in the first 20 minutes. That's the plan, at least. So we'll see. So I'm just going to start talking like we normally do, and then if he pops in, Elijah will let me know, and we'll just go right to Peyton Gray. Don't worry, you're not going to miss any of my sweet ad reads. So look forward to that too. But yeah, a pretty fun night last night at the ballpark. It was a what was it? A 6-1 victory. A lot of good stuff happened. Gallagher, did I say Rangers today? Well, it's in my heart. DLLS Rangers. All right, sorry about that. Anyway, 6-1 win, a series win over the Pirates, and moving back to a first place tie with those pesky A's who are coming to town tonight. We're gonna get into all this stuff, but of course we got to do just the facts. Wyatt Langford, we haven't had a show since Wednesday. Wyatt Langford did land on the IL Wednesday with a forearm strain. We're going to talk about this one in its own segment a little bit later. But we got to give you the news now. Alejandro Osuna took his place. Wyatt expects this to be a short IL stay. All right, Robert Garcia, he also hit the injured list Thursday. Shoulder inflammation won't go away. The Rangers couldn't wait any longer. They've been playing short. And, at the start of a 9-game stretch with no days off, can't be playing short anymore. So Peyton Gray took his spot. Will McIver lost his spot. He was DFA'd, and that one surprised me. He's not gonna clear. Catchers with options don't clear waivers and most of the time. And then Jack Leiter, he was okay. In his words, he got lucky after falling while backing up a play Wednesday. He was, backing up, and he raced over. Brandon Nimmo made a pretty lousy throw, about a 30 hopper, and Jack raced from behind the plate over toward the visiting dugout, and he tripped on a weighted bat that was in the Pirates on deck circle. So he stepped on it with his left foot and fell forward, and a lot of people were worried that he hyperextended his knee, but it was the ankle that kind of took the hit and buckled a little bit. But we talked to him yesterday, and he said he's fine. He's going to, treat it really aggressively, and he doesn't need to be that aggressive. It didn't look bad. I'm no doctor, but I've seen bad ankles before, and that one doesn't look bad. So he's going to treat it over the next couple of days. He expects to make his next start, which would be Monday against the Yankees. And then one other newsy item, Carter Baumler, he of the right intercostal strain, started a rehab assignment last night with Round Rock down there in Sugar Land. He allowed a run in an inning of work. All right, here we go. Rangers won 6-1 behind Evan Carter, Corey Seager, and Jacob deGrom. Carter had yet another thrilling play, his second thrilling play of the series. The first was the home run robbery on Tuesday when he jumped and caught that ball over the fence. Last night, a inside the park home run, 2-run inside the park home run. In the third inning, he hit it off of Bubba Chandler, who throws really hard. It hit off the base of the wall in right field in front of the right center, in front of the Rangers dugout. Bounced away from Ryan O'Hearn, who I thought had actually caught the ball. And then it snuck past O'Neill Cruz as he was crossing over to maybe make a play on it. So Carter, he was kind of, if you watch the run, the trot wasn't a trot around the bases, but it was kind of a trot at first. Evan said he thought maybe he hit a home run, maybe O'Hearn was going to catch it, maybe it was going to be a double. Well, then it bounded away when he was between first and second. So then he took off. Race over second and between second and third started to slow down, thinking, all right, I got a triple. Well, Corey Ragsdale, the third base coach, just kept waving him in. So Evan stepped on the gas again, and he dived head first into the plate. 15.9 seconds to get around the bases, so he probably could have trimmed a second off of that if not for tapping the brakes a few different times. So that was the third inning. Next inning, Jock Peterson, made it 3-0 with an RBI single. And then Corey Seager followed with a 3-run homer. He now has 6 home runs on the season. That leads the team. It was his second hit of the game. This is a guy, he entered the game with a 193 average. I think a lot of people are kind of concerned about him. Of course, nobody really is. Skip Schumacher said afterward that among the people he has the least concerns about are Nathan Eovaldi and Corey Seager. The only blemish against Jacob deGrom came in the 5th as O'Neill Cruz, the one-man wrecking ball, hit a solo homer with 2 outs. Should have had a homer in each game of the series, but Evan Carter got his arm in the way of one of them. deGrom went back out for the 6th, got the first 2 outs, issued a walk, and was gone. 10 strikeouts. Then it got a little hairy. This is probably the hairiest moment of the game for the Rangers. Gavin Collier came in and walked the next 2 guys, so the bases are loaded. But Josh Young bailed out the Rangers. Skip Schumacher said this was a huge play, and he's right. Young dived to his right, snagged a Connor Griffin ground ball, stood up and threw Griffin out. Griffin is not slow, so it was a heck of a play. If that had gone past him, it might have been a 6-4 game at that point, and then you're really kind of leaning on some bullpen guys who've pitched a lot. Instead, Jalen Beeks, Jacob Junis, and then Peyton Gray came in to finish off the series win. It moved the Rangers to 13-12, tied with the A's, 1.5 games ahead of the Angels, the third-place Angels in the West. A's are in town now, 3 games tonight, and we have the weekend pitching matchups, and they're the same as when they got together last week in Sacramento. Nathan Eovaldi, Mackenzie Gore, Kamar Rocker. I remember Gore last week walked 6. Walked 6 A's. He's going to be facing Severino, Springs, and Ginn. Springs was really good. Probably could have kept pitching, kind of like deGrom could have last night, but didn't. Other than that, though, as far as these 2 teams are concerned, the Rangers have turned over their roster a little bit, just with a couple injuries, notably Langford and Garcia. So I think that it's going to be a kind of the same sense. It could be a tight series. The A's have pitched really well on the road. They're still without Brent Rooker, but they have those young guys in the lineup. I think they're starting to score a little bit more, still pitching it well. So I think the key for the Rangers, and I'll probably say this every game, is to get those starters out of the game. That's the A's Achilles heel. The soft underbelly is their bullpen. So that's got to be the strategy there. Assuming that's a strategy in every game, though, right? You want to get into the bullpen, especially to start a series. Valdi tossed 7 scoreless against them. What was it, last Monday? So we're talking about 11 days ago, 12 days ago, and don't know what he's going to have to change. It's going to be pretty interesting to see if he does change anything. But Gore and Rocker need to be more efficient and go from there. Now, we did wonder about deGrom last night, getting pulled at 89 pitches. why not let him get that last out? Well, Skip Schumacher's been pretty stringent about the pitch marks. He actually the pitch counts. He actually let DeGrom go a little bit more than Skip thought he was going to go. Skip said he was going to be around 80 pitches, but he did get to 89. Jacob said he could have gotten the last out. He also wishes he hadn't walked his last batter because that would have gotten the inning over. After the outing, the 88 pitches in 4 innings at Seattle, this one kind of made sense to keep him short. But Jacob thinks from here on forward, no need to limit him anymore. Just go ahead and let him pitch and get through a 6th inning, if you will, there, and maybe even go out and get a out or 2 in the 7th. I thought DeGrom was fantastic. I thought the first inning was one of the best innings I've seen him pitch since he's been with the Rangers. Just seemed like he was very clearly had his fastball command. His slider was good. Got it through a changeup, I think, to O'Neill Cruz. That was a good pitch. Then the Pirates kind of caught a couple sliders on the outer edge and knocked him into the outfield in the 2nd inning, but no despair for Jacob. He handled it just fine, and it was a really good performance. Really, really good performance. Good to see that. It appears as though Peyton Gray might be calling right now, Elijah. So let's see. Kind of excited. So Peyton's going to pop up here in a second. We can talk about his outing. He did work the 9th, 1, 2, 3, 9th. Got Nick.
How do we turn it up?
There we go. There's Peyton Gray. Peyton, you hear me?
I can, yeah.
All right, guys. Welcome to the show. Our man Peyton Gray. Less than 24 hours after his major league debut, he was on a plane maybe at this point yesterday, trying to get from Houston to DFW. How you doing today?
Doing well. Still feeling great.
Yeah. So we talked to you last night after the game, and you went into the family room and saw your folks and your old high school coach and your wife, of course. What was the night like after that?
Pretty normal. Just went back to the hotel and tried to get some sleep. It was hard to fall asleep, but yeah, I did.
All right. So no lavish dinners or cocktails. You just went home and went to bed.
Yeah, went home, went to bed, get ready for today.
So what was it like to share that moment though with your family and your wife? Because those of us familiar with your journey know it hasn't been a short one, and they've been your support system. So I would imagine while it's the ultimate victory for you, they get a big game ball in this one.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I wouldn't be here probably without them. So just having them there for the game and getting to witness it, it was incredible.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting how you said after the game, when you were talking to us, how you weren't that nervous on the mound. Like you felt like you were prepared for this moment, and that no, you hadn't been in the major leagues, but you always thought of yourself as a major league pitcher. Kind of, where did you pick up that, I don't know, level of confidence?
I think it's just, I mean, I've prepared my entire life. I think getting onto the big stage of the major leagues, it's still the same game. I mean, the hitters might be better, the stadiums might be bigger, but just going out there and doing what I've always done and just staying true to myself. Yeah, so I was excited more than nervous, I would say. I mean, heart was
Mm-hmm.
definitely racing and stuff like that, but no jitters, I would say. But
Yeah.
I was excited.
All right. So while you're running from the dugout, from the bullpen to the mound, they flashed, Peyton Gray making his major league debut, and then slowly the crowd kind of started cheering and got louder and louder. Did you hear that, or were you just like, "Holy crap, I'm in the game"?
I did hear that. I was running in. I mean, the crowd was loud. I could tell. And then like I got like halfway out there and it got real loud, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on?"
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a pretty cool moment. And we again, I'm rehashing to the people watching this live. I'm rehashing the post game conversation, and one of the points that was made was that yes, you're 30, and the guy you struck out was spending his last day as a 19-year-old. Connor Griffin, the great prospect. Aside from the age difference and all that, how important was it for you now looking back in your first outing to at least get one strikeout?
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. I think everybody dreams of making their debut and getting that first strikeout ball and just being able to do it in the first time I'm out there was incredible.
Yeah. So what happened to the ball? Where is the ball?
I think somebody here has it. I think it might be getting authenticated, so I should be
Okay.
seeing it hopefully soon.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Do you have any plans for the ball? That's always a big question. Do you have any plans for it?
I don't think so. Probably just display it back home at my house. Nothing too crazy.
Okay. And for those who didn't know, his so you called your parents Wednesday night in you were in Sugarland where Round Rock had been rained out 2 days in a row. You're just laying around the hotel, get the call. You call your parents in Indiana, Columbus, Indiana. I hope I don't offend you, but I had to look up where that was. Looks like it's in a pretty good spot between
Yeah,
Indianapolis and Louisville. All right, that's okay.
yeah.
And so then they piled in the car. Did they give you any descriptions of their drive?
No, not much. I mean, I know it was a long journey. I think I was more nervous for them driving through the night, but they said they were too excited to sleep, so they had to get on the road.
So they didn't need any energy drinks. They were hopped up on getting
I
getting to
think,
Arlington.
yeah, I believe so. I think they were taking turns, taking short naps, and just keep driving.
All right, good for them. Awesome that they made it. Um, what now? Your wife had, I guess you guys had a car in Round Rock, so you just had to shoot north.
Yeah.
Piece of cake. Piece of cake. So you said you're expecting more people to come in today. Who all this weekend are you expecting?
Yeah, so today I have like my in-laws, my sister-in-law, my brother's able to make it today, some other friends, and my agent's able to make it today, so that's pretty cool. So just definitely a bigger group today.
Okay. So what do you think? We talked to you before the game too about being 30 and how you had remembered a Pirates infielder who had debuted uh, in his 30s. We told you about Austin Bibbin Dirks, who was a Rangers pitcher. I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, who had made his debut at 32. You're 30, so you're not an old man. What though do you hope this story means to other players in your situation? Because you can look anywhere in any organization, and there's a guy who is still trying to live the dream. What do you hope this? How do you hope this resonates with people like that?
Yeah, I mean, I hope people just see like if you want something, never give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Anything's possible. Set your mind to it and just it can happen. I mean, I there were moments in my career where I never saw this as happening and I just never gave up and I was blessed with a good support system and got through the hard times and now I made it and so it's incredible.
What was the hardest time? Was it in Mexico? Was it 23 when you were hurt? What was the hardest time?
Probably when I got released from the Rockies and I had to go play independent ball during the COVID season, the 2020 year, and then I wasn't sure if I was gonna ever make it back to affiliated ball, and then same thing happens. I'm with Kansas City, I get released again, I go back to indie ball, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. And so then this last time I was a free agent, I was in Mexico playing winter ball, and I was like, man, I'm kind of old. I'm like nervous someone's not going to take a chance on me because I'm getting older and stuff like that. And so I was lucky that Texas gave me a chance last season and just let me show myself, and then had a good year, and then re-signed, and now we're here.
Did you look at the Rangers' opportunity as the last chance, maybe?
Yeah, affiliated wise, sure. I mean, I think it, it's definitely tough to get back into affiliated baseball as a free agent at 30. If you were in my shoes playing independent ball and stuff like that. But I think just not giving up and just I've always pushed myself in the off season and tried to improve my game, and I feel better as a 30-year-old as I did as a 21-year-old. So
The changeup, you saved it for Connor Griffin, but it's been a heck of a pitch. It was what they talked about in spring training. Has it always been your go-to pitch, or have you changed it a little bit and made it more effective?
yeah, I think I've with Texas last year, I've thrown it for many years now. I think just with Texas on the minor league side, just learning more how to use it and how to protect it and insulate it with my other pitches just to make it play as good, like as well as it can, was a big thing. And then so like my usages of it have changed and stuff like that. When to throw it, when not to throw it, and yeah, it's a really good organization, and I think they've really helped me.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your candor in our discussions yesterday, both before and after, and how you said, well, I think I surprised the Rangers this spring. I don't think you didn't think necessarily they were expecting you to do what you did, and you popped up on the radar, and now, hell, you're in the major leagues. I mean, I guess you still can't believe it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's set in yet.
Yeah, it's crazy. According to Baseball Reference, you are the 23rd. This is going to be a hard one. 23,666th, 65th,
Okay.
23665 player in Major League history. So there have been a few before you, and there are going to be a lot more after you. But who cares, man? You're a major leaguer.
Yeah. It's crazy. Can't believe it.
All right. The chat so far, you're getting a lot of congratulations. One comment about your mustache, nice stash. So good work on that one. But one last question before I get you out of here. You played baseball, obviously. Played basketball, but I didn't know that you are a kick-ass bowler. Like, you have some 300 games in your career. Do you still bowl? And did you know that Keith Jones at Frisco is a terrific bowler?
I actually had no idea, but I do occasionally bowl when I'm back home. I mean, I grew up bowling, stuff like that. And so when I'm back home hanging out in the bowling center with my dad and brother and stuff like that, my wife will challenge me to a game and stuff like that. So we'll do that, but I haven't bowled competitively in a while.
All right. Well, stick with the baseball. It seems to be doing pretty good right now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to let you go. It's going to be an abrupt end. You're just going to see a dark screen. But thanks for joining us. I'm going to try to make it to the ballpark today. My daughter's sick, so it's going to be a tough one. But next time I see you, I'll thank you in person. But thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, Peyton. All right, guys, that's Peyton Gray, Rangers pitcher, a major league pitcher. That's fantastic. So what a great story. Okay, real quick, we're going to go to an ad break, and when we come back, I don't know, we'll just find some other stuff to talk about. That's next on the DLS Rangers podcast. Hey, it's Prize Picks time here at DLLS. If you go to prizepicks.com, use the code DLLS, you get $50 in free lineups after you make your first $5 lineup. What is a lineup, you ask? It's 2 to 6 players. You select whether they will have more or less than a certain statistical category, like base hits or strikeouts, or in basketball, points and rebounds and assists. Number of different sports you can do it with. Not just baseball, not just the NBA. You can do NHL. You can do golf, tennis, soccer, all the good stuff. It's a lot of fun. It heightens your sports experience, become a more knowledgeable sports fan, and you can do it for as little as $1. And as I say, every day, and it's the truth, I do Prize Picks every day. Just a couple bucks, see what happens, have some fun. But again, prizepicks.com/DLLS, make a $5 lineup, and you will get $50 in free lineups. And then Juneau Liquor, tomorrow is Allocation Saturday. It's important that we remember Allocation Saturday. It's the last Saturday of every month where they put their premium stuff behind the shelf, and you show up at the 3 DFW locations, and Las Colinas at 11, Arlington at 1, Keller at 3. It's free. You get a ticket. That's the order in which you can go in, and you can take a shot at getting some good stuff. I'm going to try tomorrow between softball and baseball tournaments. By God, I'm going to give it a shot. You can go to all 3 stores. Some people go to all 3 stores. Anyway, Juneau, 3 DFW locations. They've been serving us since 2014. Find all your high-quality spirits at a great price at your local Juneau's. Tell them DLS sent you. You get 10% off your first purchase, and you get also the satisfaction of continuing to support your Dallas small businesses. And yes, I'm ready to go. All right, we are back. I think they have Elmer T. Lee this month. Well, that's good information. Again, I'm going to try to make it over to Juneau tomorrow because I like bourbon. All right. Anyway, so I was going to have Peyton be his own segment, and it turns out that he kind of bled at the end of the first one and over into much of the second, which is fine. I have no problem with that. Before we talk about Wyatt Langford, though, let's go ahead and talk about, and I know this makes some people a little bit nervous and a little antsy, and I guess, well, I am too. And I'm talking, of course, about Jock Peterson. Look, Jock has been in the middle of some dadgum rallies, okay? Jock Peterson batted second yesterday. How about that? He got his first RBI in a while, it seemed like, there in that fourth inning right before Corey Seager hit the homer. And if you looked at the lineup, 5 through 3, it was 5 straight left-handed pitchers. Skip Schumacher was prepared to use the pinch hitters wisely, and he did. So Jock, again, he's batting .236, and he only has the 1 home run. His on-base percentage, though, is up to .368. All right, and that was one of the things. Yeah, everybody talked about, well, he's going to hit home runs. He's going to help the Rangers hit fastballs and all of that stuff. And that's still the hope. After he batted 181 last year, he has 11 walks so far this season. He's at 68 plate appearances, 18 strikeouts. His OPS is up to 677. He's still not slugging, but he is hitting the ball hard. He is getting on base more. So, again, and I've said this. We all had our doubts about this guy, especially after he opened the season 0 for whatever. It was uncomfortable. We were starting to wonder when Andrew McCutchen, who was red hot at the time, was going to take over for Jock. We always said there was going to be runway because of how much Jock is making, but also the Rangers believed that the work he was doing with Justin Veely was going to pay off. And I guess this is the payoff. I mean, .236, it ain't great, but it's 55 points higher than last season. His on base is almost 100 points higher than last season. Again, everything was going to go up this year just because it would have been really, really hard for it to go down. But I think we both, when we were talking about, well, he's 0 for 17 or whatever it was to start the year, 0 for 16. It's like, okay, it's early. And now that he's up doing much better, look, it's still early. He's still, I think, in the runway phase, but the runway is pretty long right now. I think that Jock has secured his place in the lineup against right-handers for the foreseeable future. He will play twice this weekend. Jeffrey Springs is the only left-hander the Rangers will be facing in that series. I haven't looked ahead to the Yankees series, nor am I familiar with how many left-handers they have, to be perfectly honest. I know they won't have Carlos Rodon, but you're going to see a lot more Jock Peterson, and as long as he's getting on base, as long as he's helping, he will be in the lineup, and that's a good thing. Remember, if you're a Rangers fan, you want Jock Peterson to do well. You don't want this to be the worst free agent signing in recent franchise history. I think Chan-Ho Park still is going to take the cake on that one. But yeah, you want Jock to do well. You want the Rangers to get value out of him. And yeah, you want him to help win games. And by gum, Jock Peterson is doing that right now, which is pretty alarming. All right. We're going to go ahead and sell some more, pay some more bills with our ads. Next ad break coming to you. But when we get back, we're going to talk about Wyatt Langford. And Wednesday, I got a little mad. I'll be honest. I got a little bit hot under the collar after word spread that Wyatt Langford was going to go to the injured list. I'll explain after this on the DLLS Rangers podcast. Hey guys, there it is, Wild Fork Meat and Seafood Market. You can't have a DLS Rangers podcast without mentioning our friends at Wild Fork Foods. 9 DFW locations. You can go online, wildforkfoods.com, where if you become a member for $29 for the year, you can get free same-day or next-day delivery. Of course, we're always going to encourage you to go to the stores. There's one closer than you think. And when you get there, you're going to be amazed at just how much food there is, how much meat there is, the standards, the poultry, the chicken, the beef, but also, as I always say, kangaroo, lots of seafood options. So this is where you want to go. It's cheaper than just about anywhere. They have a weekly marketing meeting where they scour out the prices from around the area and try to match or beat those prices. You can't beat our friends at Wild Fork Foods, meat and seafood markets, wildforkfoods.com. And now that it is the playoffs, NBA playoffs, except in Dallas, other venues too, but that one hits home. You can predict all the playoff action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. And all you have to do is sign up to get a $25 bonus. Follow all the playoff dishes, swishes, and misses. Every move is a potential plot twist. Predict the spread, the total points, even game-winning moments to make the playoffs. From opening tip to the final buzzer, stay locked in with every pass, every play, every moment that moves us closer to crowning a champion. Sign up now for your $25 bonus on FanDuel Predicts. Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. Must be 18 years or older. The bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with our consumer production tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at fanduel.com/predict/bonus-offer-terms. All right, guys. Whew, that one's always tough on me because you got to read that disclaimer at the end. And trading derivatives is singular. That's the one that always gets me because the verb is anyway. Cameron, I see that the roof might be open tonight. I don't know. I think it's going to be too hot. And hot heat plus wind equals roof closed usually. But if it is open, guess what? I am not going to be there because I am tending to the family tonight with my wife out of town all weekend. It's going to be a hairy weekend for me. Not going to be a lot of ballpark time, unfortunately. And now I think I'm just going to decide to not watch an A's game live this year. Misty, Jeff, not a Stars fan, confirmed, ? Well, I grew up in Denver with the Colorado Rockies, who then became the New Jersey Devils. My aunt's father, not blood-related aunt, was the Rockies team physician. So we would go to Rockies games. I got lost at a Rockies game once. I very vividly remember that. Anyway, Chico Resch, if you guys remember any hockey from back in the day, Chico Resch is the maybe one of the greatest Rockies in history. Definitely the greatest name. But the Avalanche came. I think I was late in my college years, over from Quebec. They won the Stanley Cup the first year of Patrick Waugh as the goaltender and Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg, who I thought was fantastic. So if I have to say, am I a hockey fan? I would say, And then I would say, if I had to choose a team, I would have to choose, don't hate me, the Avs, just because of regional biases. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Wyatt Langford. And T.O., I'll get to your Josh Young question in a second. But Wyatt, yeah, he's back on the injured list. Forearm strain. He hurt it in his second at bat. Tuesday left the game. It hurt to swing. Throwing was okay, which is a little weird, I thought. But I think it's also weird that he hurt his forearm swinging. I don't know. But anyway, word spread that night that he had left the game, and some people were sniping that, oh, this guy's a porcelain doll. Then he goes on onto the injured list, and a lot of people started saying that he's fragile, he's injury prone, he's a bust. All of these things, which kind of got under my skin a little bit. I really shouldn't read the Twitter. Maybe I should have turned off comments. Anytime Wyatt Langford's injured, I'm going to turn off comments. But this is the 5th time he's been on the injured list in his career. And it's not like he's been in the league for 15 years. He's been in the league for 2 full seasons plus, what is it now, 26 games. So, and he had the quad injury on the last homestand, which cost him 3 games. So I kind of understand where some people are coming from on this. It's frequent injuries, kind of. The first year, his rookie year in 24, he was on the injured list one time with a quad, and missed some time there in May, came back and was a better player, better off for it, I think. And then, last year, the obliques were an issue. He hurt one in spring training. 3 IL stints last year, including one to end his season. I think if if the Rangers had been in the playoffs that last week, if those games had mattered, he would have been playing. So yeah, he's been on the IL a lot. These haven't been catastrophic injuries, though. They've been short stays on the IL, as he expects this one to be. Some guys are like, well, he should stop being a bodybuilder. Wyatt Langford's put together. All right, he's not shredded. He's not shredded like a bodybuilder, and I don't think he lifts weights to pack on more and more muscle. He's just built that way. But yeah, so can something be done? The Rangers tried to work on the oblique stuff with rotational things this offseason, and hey, the obliques have been fine. But yeah, it just has gotten him again, and maybe it's an early season thing. Hopefully, it's something that doesn't linger all season. But I am not yet buying that Wyatt Langford is injury prone. I think that he's still a young player. And he said in spring training, that he thought this last off season was kind of like, his first or second, where he's able to learn things, what he needs to do for his body. He has greatly reduced his workload. We always heard about how many swings he was taking and all that stuff. He's cut that down and has stayed with it. So I'm not yet buying injury prone. He's played did I say this? He's played 134 games in each of his first 2 seasons. That's 83% of the Rangers game those last 2 years. Wyatt Langford's been on the field. That's more than Corey Seager. That's more than Josh Young. More than Evan Carter. So yeah, there are guys who you could say are injury prone. I think Josh got that label, though they were kind of freakish things. Corey, he had an appendectomy last year, but he's addressed his leg issues that seem to jump up and bite him. So, and baseball's hard, man. I know some people aren't sure about that, but remember, 162 games and 183 games plus spring training. And if you're fortunate enough to make the postseason, well, the Rangers played, 17 times in 2023 in the postseason? That's a lot of baseball. Now, Wyatt wasn't on that team, but you get my point. A lot of things going on with baseball players. They show up, they work every day, they get to games a couple hours before they start, and some of them will get treatment and even lift after games. So there's a lot that goes on with a baseball player and with him. Now, you hope Wyatt's able to use these days on the IL well. He said he was going to take 2 or 3 days off from baseball activities, so maybe he'll ramp up Saturday with some light stuff, test out the forearm, see if it feels well. And then, hopefully he can work on his swing a little bit, because if we're being honest, it hasn't been great this year. He did have 3-hit games Friday and Saturday at Seattle back-to-back, and looked to be rounding into form. Bad timing maybe on that front, but the Rangers don't seem too concerned about Wyatt, and maybe with good reason. They have their hands on him more than anybody else. They know how hard he works. They know how diligent he's been with his routine. Could be just one of those things, and it's something he's never experienced before, so it doesn't appear to be a chronic issue, which is good to hear. So we'll see. So again, I am voting for no. Wyatt Langford is not injury prone. If you are against me, keep it to yourself, because I don't want to get mad again. Yeah, Curdua, weren't they saying the same thing as about Carter? Yes. And the back appears to be a chronic thing. that he has to stay on top of, something that he said is, going to be with him. He's eventually going to outgrow it, but or get past it, however it's going to happen. But yeah, he needs to be there. And last year, the injury that cost him the most was a broken arm. You can't do anything about getting hit by a pitch there and your arm breaking. So, and I think, yeah, there are differences. Josh Young, we know his career injury history, a stress fracture in his foot in, 21. 22 was the torn labrum. 23 was the broken thumb during the season. Then 24 was the broken wrist right off the top of the season. That I think, yes, it completely hampered him for the rest of that season because he had to have off-season surgery again. So maybe it was lingering into last season. He had a good load of games last year. So, he had to go to the minors to get some things straightened out, but it wasn't health related. He was on the IL early last season, but and he was hurt again in spring training this year with a little calf thing. But the freakish things outweigh the soft tissue things in his case. Wyatt, it has been soft tissue stuff. So maybe there is something there, but maybe those people want to, you want to point to history. If you're building a case for in a court of law, I'm sure that evidence is going to be presented, but I'm going to rebuke you as the judge, and I'm going to probably hold you in contempt of court. Okay, what do we got up here? Gallagher champ, I worry he's swinging too much in cages. Well, I asked that question of Skip Schumacher, and Skip was like, Skip was in the organization last year, so he knows that was a thing. And he said that Wyatt has been very diligent to his routine, hasn't gone crazy off of it. And so that is good news. Misty, some things you don't outgrow in reference to Evan Carter. Just look at Don Mattingly. Yeah. I think you are probably right there. So you got to maintain it and stay on it and all of that stuff. And does this mean Abby Jones will be getting Rangers? My absence this weekend. Abby Jones getting Rangers videos. I think Abby's probably going to be out not out, but not consistently at the ballpark for as long as the Stars are in the playoffs. And then I think she was doing Cowboys draft stuff last night. So she's got her hands full, guys. She's got her hands full. Holy moly. Cameron points out, and it had been pointed out earlier in the chat, that tonight is indeed the debut of the City Connect jerseys. It's been kind of interesting the last few days. The players who did not get to wear them at spring training model them in spring training for the rollout. So most of the players, I guess, have been putting on their uniforms and going upstairs to see the team photographer, Bailey Orr, and getting some photos and such in the uniform so that they can update their graphics, I guess, on Friday nights. Will Chuck say it's baseball time in Tejas tonight? Well, that's interesting. That's a good one. I think he'll still go with Texas. Gallagher champ, good solid reference to The Simpsons with Mattingly. Get rid of those sideburns. Pretty darn good episode of The Simpsons there. When Homer ultimately gets hit in the head to bring in the winning run for the power plant softball team. Misty, $5 super chat. Jacob deGrom has as many wins now as Randy Johnson did after he beat Roger Pavlik and the Rangers 6-2, September 28th, 1995. A game T.O. had attended. Wow. That was a long time ago. Misty, I don't think deGrom's going to get to 300 wins, though. He's closing in on 100, though, which makes all of his Hall of Fame case so much more interesting. Are there the people that value the win? Are there people in their current line of thinking who don't value the win as much, kind of in line with the current line of thinking, statistical thinking? He's going to be a hell of a Hall of Fame case. If he has 2 or 3 more good years to close it out, I think it becomes shoe-in status just because, his ERA is going to be so low. All the ancillary numbers are going to be high. This guy's a great pitcher, man. He's really, really good. Okay, let's go on to, thanks, Misty, for the super chat. Let's go on to our final ad break, which is going to be me telling you about all the great things that we have to offer at DLS Sports. And then we'll do some batting cleanup and hopefully have some more questions because batting cleanup's a little light today. All right, let's get to it right after this. All right, Supporters Club. I haven't talked about the Supporters Club for a while, nor have I done a video. I thought about it was way too late last night going and visiting all the dogs that were at the ballpark last night for Bark in the Park. Apparently, there were 551 dogs in attendance. Saw a lot of golden retrievers and doodles when they were showing the various photos between innings on the video board. Doodle heavy crowd for sure. I always wondered what would happen if we brought our dogs. We have 3 of them. It'd be a disaster. If we brought 2 of them, total disaster. Ginger would hang on. She'd be solid. Anyway, Supporters Club is the diehard club or the diehard membership for our YouTube page. You go to youtube.com/@DLLS_sports. Take you to our YouTube homepage. You hit the join button, and it will help you sign up for exclusive videos, exclusive emojis, and more knowledge than your pals have. You want to be the ultimate DFW sports fan, this is yet another way to do it. And of course, you got to be a diehard. We are in the midst of a couple different sales where you can get on board for $32. That's pretty awesome. And that's for the first year. And then after that, it becomes the regular price of $79.99. You still get your free t-shirt. And what you get with the diehard membership is access to all of our stories, the ones that are behind the paywall, which is, well, most of them. And last night was a big night for the Dallas Cowboys, so Clarence was all over that. We have Sam. The Stars had that big double overtime win. The other night, the Mavs are looking ahead and trying to figure out another way to rig the draft lottery. And then we had the Rangers playing some decent baseball and just trying to get through this initial first couple months here of tough baseball while the starters build up and while the hitters start to find their timing and get in the right place. So good stuff. Go to alldls.com/intro. That'll get you to where you need to get. Okay. Batting cleanup, and we'll go ahead like we frequently do. Not just frequently, pretty much always. And we will start on the farm. Last night in the minor leagues, some good stuff happened. Starting with Round Rock. Round Rock had to play 2 games because of the rain the first couple days, and didn't have Peyton Gray. Okay, but they did have Cam Cauley, and Cam Cauley had a nice 2 games. He homered in each game. Round Rock won both games, so that's good. First game, late afternoon, Josh Stephen from South Grand Prairie High School allowed, I think, 1 earned run in 4 innings. Very, very good. Michael Otanez, who somehow keeps avoiding that DFA. Hey, all right. He got the win. And then my man Robbie Alstrom, you're damn right, he got the save, his second of the season. You go to the second game, Dane Acker, one of my favorite guys. It was a bullpen game, and he got the win. He didn't pitch great, but he got the win. Josh Spores allowed another run, but it looked like it was better. Teodo allowed a run in relief, but it was a 12-5 game. Again, Cauley homered, Zavala homered, and so Round Rock's playing better baseball. They had a really ragged start, but now things are kind of falling into line. They're still, under 500, but not as badly as they were to start the year. Frisco's kind of fallen on some hard times. I think they've lost 4 in a row. Lost last night 6-1. Winston Santos only got 2 outs. He's fine. He's healthy, but he threw 31 pitches in the first inning and got lifted because of the pitch count. The Rangers are always going to protect their young guys, and 31 pitches in an inning is a lot for anybody, Jacob deGrom or Winston Santos. So that's why he didn't go very long. So he'll be back in a week to pitch next Thursday. He seems to be their Thursday night starter. The Friday night starter appears to be Leandro Lopez. So if you want to go out and see a ball game tonight that isn't at Globe Life Field, going up to Frisco. They do a good job, of course. Hub City only hit one home run last night. I say that only because they won 16-2. Ben Hartle, the catcher, 14th rounder in 2024 from Kansas. Maybe it was 23. 24. Anywho, he hit the home run. It was a 3-run shot. There were 5 doubles in the game, including 2 each for Paxton Kling and Yason Morabel. So the outfielders getting the job done. And then Hickory is still kicking butt and taking names. They're now 14-4 this season after a 6-4 win at Hill City. Hill City is Lynchburg. Used to be the Lynchburg team. It's now Hill City. They were the Hill Cats. So there's the Hill reference. Another home run for Deward Tovar. Man, this time was a grand slam. I think he's up to 6 homers, maybe 7 on the season. This is a little guy. He's not a big guy, but he carries a big stick, Teddy Roosevelt. And so he's kicking butt. Camden Perry, he was a 17th rounder in 2023 out of high school, Bishop Gorman High School. Anybody who knows anything about Bishop Gorman knows all the great athletes that have gone through there, including Joey Gallo and Andre Agassi. I'll just throw that one out there. Anyway, he allowed 3 innings and 3 runs. I'm bringing that up because, oddly enough, I was thinking about him yesterday and wondering where he was. He had pitched over the winter in Australia and hadn't heard a lot about him. But, hey, there you go. He's pitching for Hickory, so good for him. But, yeah, I think Evan Ciari pitches for Hub City tonight. Not sure about no, he would pitch for Hickory. Ciari would pitch for Hickory. Dalton Pence, the left-hander who was in big league camp, he would pitch for Hub City. Now, back into the major leagues and some injury news. The Mets got Juan Soto back on Wednesday and then promptly lost Francisco Lindor to the same injury, a calf injury. Sounds like, though, that this Lindor injury, he's their shortstop. He was the runner-up for the MVP yesterday. He's going to be out a little bit longer. Sounds like it's worse. Sticking in the National League East, Tawan Walker, he was released by the Phillies. He was in the last year of his contract. Wasn't doing well. He didn't make a difference. The Phillies lost again to the Cubs, this time in 10 innings, 9 in a row. Holy cow. Adolis Garcia gave him a little hope with a 9th inning game-tying homer, but alas, it didn't last. And then this one always means a little more to me because it's a TCU kid. But the Red Sox recalled Peyton Tolley, their top pitching prospect. He spent his last year of college at TCU. He was a two-way player, but he's doing very, very well with the pitching. Struck out 11 Yankees, including the first 5 in the game in 6 innings. 1 run, 3 hits, but the Red Sox lost 4-2. Somebody is getting me. Am I going to get to T.O.'s question? Misty, let's get to T.O.'s question. Where is T.O.'s question? Oh, yeah, it's his question, his anniversary question. Keep going up. I saw it. We'll get to it. There it is. T.O. celebrates 7 months of membership. Well, thank you very much. What do you see the Rangers doing with Young? Keep going to ARB or offer a deal? What kind of terms, money? They want to see more, I'm sure, but his approach looks good. Savant Page has a lot of red, OPS plus of 162. This is another one where we were reacting to the season opening numbers, right? And it wasn't good. It was 0 for 16 or 17 to start the year. Since he's been very, very good. The thing that gets me, and a lot of people have noticed, is that he isn't chasing nearly as much. It's like night and day. And I don't know if who flipped the switch, how you learned that. Skip Schumacher was asked about it yesterday, and he was like, if there was a way to teach it, we would. He said he's been trying to coach it for years, and there's just no real way to make it work. So good for Josh for learning some patience. I think with Josh, as I've said before, a lot of it's mental. It's not chasing results. It's not feeling pressure. It's just going up there and doing what you've been doing. Been hitting a lot more balls to right field, as we all know. The home run the other night, Wednesday night, was down the right field line. So as long as he's doing that, he's going to be fine. But I think the Rangers need to kind of tap the brakes here on any extension thoughts. They need to see this be sustained over the full season. They need to see him stay healthy, and then see what it looks like then. Next year will be his second year of arbitration. He's making a little under $3 million this year, so if he has a great year, he's going to get a nice hefty raise. And then maybe at that point you think about, well, if we believe this is the guy, can we give him a 3-year deal? So maybe buy out 1 year free agency. His agent is Scott Boras, so we all know how those things generally work out. But he's doing well, and the defense has been good too. That was a heck of a play, again, that he made last night there in the 6th inning. So thank you, T.O., for your 7 months of membership, and thank you for that question. All right, any more question? Oh, wait, I think there was a question about my favorite ballpark. Of all the current ballparks, which one would you rank as your favorite? Like view-wise, I mean, Pittsburgh's so nice. Pittsburgh is very beautiful. Misty says Oracle Park for me. It's another very, very nice ballpark. Now, I'm not jaded, but slanted by ease of work. Is it an easy place to work? Oracle's press box, the last time I was there at least, is very, very low. It's in a great spot. It was always a small press box, but it's a solid press box. Same thing with Camden Yards. Problem with the Camden Yards press box, and again, this really has me jaded, is that it's open air. So in the summer, it's a sweat box, and you don't want to be in there. Great ballpark though, right? And there's enough hotels where you can walk to the ballpark, and from there, San Diego, it's just because of how great it is, the area it's in, the weather conditions, the proximity to the airport. It does seem like a nice ballpark to watch a game, not just necessarily from a work standpoint. I do really like Fenway though. I think I always come back to Fenway on this one, and we talked about that in the show Wednesday when I was revealing the truth about Wrigley Field. Fenway's just neat, man. It really is, and they've done a good job updating it over the years. The atmosphere outside the ballpark is fun, and it's easy to get to off the subway. So is Wrigley, but if you're holding my feet to the fire, I think the prettiest is Pittsburgh, but probably my favorite would be Fenway. All right. And look, Seattle's a great park too. It's just always cold there. And I don't necessarily care for Seattle. I like Seattle outside of downtown, but I'm almost never outside of downtown. So I'm a little bit jaded there too. Different topic, but I'm sure we all had the Mets and Phillies at the bottom of the NL East a month into the season, right? Nope. Nobody did. What's his name? Zach Wheeler. He's pitching tomorrow. So maybe the Phillies' fortunes are about to turn. I don't know, though. We'll have to wait and see. Who said Petco was awesome? Was that you down there at the bottom? Was that Misty who said that? No, Cordua. Oh, yeah, well, Cordua. Didn't you establish that you have a bias towards San Diego with Jack Murphy Stadium, Qualcomm? No, I like Petco a lot. I really, really do. Reds ballpark's a good one. It's okay. Yeah, it is. It's got the river behind it, which is pretty cool. Can be pretty humid there. It's a bandbox though, and really, I think the outfield's kind of ordinary. I don't want a wild outfield like all the crap they do in Houston. I think San Diego is nice. They have the stuff in left field, which is cool, the warehouse and everything. But I don't know. The Great American Ballpark seems maybe a little understated. The outside's great with all the statues and everything. That's pretty cool. T.O. is going to Tropicana, cross it off the list next Friday, and Lone Depot the following Sunday. The Trop is not nice. Of course, they've had a chance to clean it up here thanks to that hurricane. So it's got it's indoors though, and it's a great place to work. It's probably number one for work. Miami's okay. It's just okay. I'm going to leave it at that. But again, they do have a roof. I have not been to Sacramento, and I don't count that as a requirement. It's not a major league ballpark. Twins is fine. Yeah, Target Field's fine. It's not bad. And the outfield's kind of unique. So if you like that, then cool. All right, hey, I like talking ballpark. Coors Field is nice. Just wish they had a good team. Coors Field's been redone there in right field. They made it a part area, so they still get a little bit more attendance than they should. Okay. And Missy remembers Adolis' first homer, which was at the Trop. All right, that's it for the show. Racing home to tend to my sick daughter. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Next week, we're going to go at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock next week. Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So back-to-back days, and then a 2-day break Friday where we'll preview the Rangers' next home stand. Okay? So take care this weekend. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Peyton Gray for being on the show. Thanks to the Prophet. We will see you next week on the DLS Rangers podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.